The Polygon Reduction tool can be useful in reducing the overall polygon count of an object. By right-clicking on the tool icon, we bring up the Settings panel. Note that this tool was created for verbal output of models and not originally intended for modeling. For this reason, the Level of Detail group checkbox will not be covered. Just the conditions under which this tool works best for modeling are presented. We will start off by dragging the horn object from the project library to the grid. Notice the number of faces that are present on the object. This tool works better with high-density meshes. The first field we will focus on is the cavity detail settings. The horn has surfaces that are concave on the inside edge. Setting this field to 1 seems to produce the best reduction results. Concave areas will thus retain a maximum of detail. This is, however, only in conjunction with the long edges checkbox checked. The long edges checkbox weights the vertices at the ends of long edges with more importance than those at the ends of shorter edges. Having this checkbox checked produces more accurate reductions with a lower face count than if not checked. The next field we will focus on is the minimum detail percentage setting. The higher the setting, the better the result in general. We will start with 90%. When clicking on the Polygon Reduction tool, the reduced object is created inside of the original. Move it out of the way and note the number of faces. Render both of them to compare the difference. Note that the texture mapping was destroyed on the copy. UV space needs to be reapplied to reduced objects, since applied and default UV mapping is lost. Now we will set the minimum percent to 50% and reduce the object. As we move it out of the way, note the number of faces. Again, reapply a UV space and compare the rendered look. We now begin to notice significant surface deformations. At this point, textures no longer hide them. The balance of face count and model usefulness diminishes from this point on. The next field is the number setting. Let us set it to 3. This will produce 3 reduced copies of the object when we click on the Polygon Reduction tool. Note that the settings in the panel will apply to the lowest level object. All other objects will be reduced to various levels in between. Note the number of faces on each copy as we drag it to either side. The Union First checkbox is for geometry that contains hierarchies. All sub-objects must be Boolean together before a reduced object can be created. Let's clear the scene and drag the beads object from the project library. With the number setting at 1 and the minimum detail at 50%, let's reduce the beads. Move out of the way. Now uncheck the Union First box and reduce again. Move out of the way. Note the differences in appearance and face count. Both results are single objects.